If you gave me any property deal today and asked me whether it works, I could give you a clear answer in about 5 minutes. Not because I rush it, but because I follow the same process every single time. And it's very different from how most people analyse deals. Most people start with the rent, maybe look at yield, and then make a decision from there. And I used to do the same. But the problem is that approach misses much more of what actually determines whether a deal works. So over time, I simplified everything into one framework that I now use in every deal, pretty much every day. And that's core. Cash flow, operations, risk, and exit. If you understand these four areas, you can analyze almost any property deal properly. Let me show you how exactly I do it. The first thing I look at is cash flow. Not the headline rent, not the gross yield, but what is actually left over. So I take the realistic rent and then I subtract everything. Mortgage costs, maintenance, lettings fees, voids, and a buffer for when things go wrong. And what I'm left with is what tells me whether the deal is worth looking at further. If the numbers are too tight at this stage, I don't try to force it. I move on to the next deal. The next thing I look at is operations. This is where people get caught out because two deals with the same numbers can require completely different levels of work and attention. A single let is relatively simple depending on your tenant. A HMO is a different level entirely. More tenants, more turnover, more management. So I ask a simple question. How much time and effort is this going to take to run properly? Because that changes how I value the deal. The third area is risk. And this is probably the most important because most deals don't fail when everything goes right. They fail when just one thing goes wrong. So I look at what happens under pressure. What happens if that property is going to be empty? What happens if costs increase? What happens if interest rates change? If the deal can't absorb those changes, then it's not a strong deal in my opinion. And finally, exit. This is the one most people ignore completely, but it matters because at some point you are going to sell the property. So I look at who I'm selling to. Is this something a homeowner would buy? Or am I relying on another investor? The narrower your buyer pool, the more risk that you carry with that deal. Once I've gone through those four areas, I can usually make a decision very quickly. Not because I know everything about the deal, but because I understand whether it is fundamentally strong or not. And the key thing here is this. I'm not trying to prove a deal works. I'm trying to find reasons it doesn't. Because good deals hold up under pressure. Average deals don't. If you take anything from this, it should be this. Stop trying to make deals work. Start testing whether they actually do. And in the next video, I'm going to break down cash flow properly, because this is where most investors get it wrong. And once you understand it properly, you will completely change how you look at deals. Thank you for watching this video, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one.